Due to the events of 2020, everyone almost forgot about the revival of Colt's single most important revolver, the Python. The new Python initially had mechanical issues that were shared online by early adopters, which didn't help Colt's marketing efforts, especially with the pandemic. But we have been neglecting this revolver for too long, so in this video, we'll talk about it. Perhaps you're familiar with the Colt Python from its appearances on The Walking Dead, the Resident Evil video game franchise, or maybe you've always wanted one, but you're on the fence as to whether to buy a more expensive pre-2005 model or the 2020 remake. Regardless of your reason for being here, this video may have the info you need. The birth of the Python. For the benefit of those who have no idea why the Colt Python is a highly sought-after revolver, let's take a walk down memory lane. The Python was introduced a decade after World War II when firearm craftsmanship was in decline due to mass production and the use of aluminum. The Smith & Wesson Model 27 was the highest quality revolver in .357 Magnum available before the release of the Colt Python. The officer's model match was Colt's high-quality revolver at the time, but it was only chambered in .38 Special and did not pose a threat to the Model 27. However, a Colt salesman named Bill Henry convinced Colt's management to build a luxury target revolver that could surpass the Model 27 in accuracy, handling, and aesthetics. Master gunsmith Adalbert Al Gunther was designed to develop the prototype, which had a heavy frame and cylinder to handle full-house .357 Magnum loads. The Python's iconic vented rib profile was achieved by hollowing out the solid underlug and cutting vents in the heavy top rib. The I-frame action was adopted, which mounted the firing pin on the frame itself for more durability. Colt ran a metal polisher school for their employees and made their own polishing wheels to achieve the exceptional royal blue finish of the Python. The Python's trigger pull was super smooth due to the high polish on the revolver's exteriors and interiors, breaking like a thin glass rod in single action but not as light in double action, breaking at 12 pounds or higher. The name Python was submitted by the vice president of Colt, Philip Schwartz, and the revolver was named after the snake, due to Colt's tradition of naming revolvers after snakes. Despite being designed with a new I-frame, the Python revolver still featured the old and complex Colt action design that was meticulously hand-fitted by a master gunsmith to achieve high precision and tight tolerances. Only two master gunsmiths, including Al DeJohn, were responsible for building every Python produced in the first 2 years of production, but growing demand forced the company to use standard production processes. One of the Python's unique features that contributed to its superior accuracy was its cylinder-to-bore alignment, which ensured that all chambers of the cylinder were perfectly aligned with the forcing cone every time the cylinder rotated. This minimized the bullet's deviation from its intended point of impact. The revolver also featured a hand that pushed the cylinder into lockup and a Colt bank bolt lockup marketing concept. The Python's barrel rifling was manufactured to a high standard with an ultra-smooth bore and a faster rifling twist for greater bullet stabilization. The barrel also had a tapered bore that allowed for better bullet grip and minimal velocity loss, and the bore was treated with a mysterious silver ball treatment that resulted in a smooth and uniform interior surface. All of these factors contributed to the Python's consistent high levels of accuracy, with some owners claiming to achieve 3-shot one-hole cloverleaf group set up to 25 yards. Why the Python died. The Python revolver was initially only produced with a 6-inch barrel as if it was designed to be a target revolver. However, due to growing demand, Colt began producing models with different barrel lengths. The 4-inch barrel version, marketed as the Colt New Police Python, was made for law enforcement use. Other barrel lengths, such as the 2.5-inch, 3-inch, and 8-inch barrels, were introduced over the years. The Python also came in different finishes, including bright nickel and satin stainless. The Ultimate Python, a mirror-polished model, was released in 1985. When production of the Python was moved to the Colt Custom Shop in 1997, they were called the Python Elite and were available in a stainless matte finish. Production continued until 2004. The Python's downfall was due to its tight action, which required a lot of hand-fitting and only the best workers to complete. This resulted in a longer production time and higher costs. While some people claim that the Python's action is weak and fragile, the frame and cylinder are actually stronger than most other guns due to Colt's superior forging and heat treatment processes. The cylinder's locking notches are also offset from their respective chambers, making each chamber structurally stronger. The problem with the Python's action is the hand, which rotates the cylinder and applies pressure to it for the tight bank bolt lockup. This results in more wear and tear on the hand and timing issues over time. Repairs can only be done by qualified Colt gunsmiths, and regular maintenance is required for frequent use. Ultimately, the decline in skilled workers at Colts and bad management decisions led to the cessation of production of all modern revolvers, including the Python, in 2005. With the Python's decline in popularity, the market for used models saw a surge in demand, driving up prices due to limited supply. Owners who sold their mint or not-so-mint condition Pythons were handsomely rewarded, with some receiving up to 5 times their original investment within a decade. The King's Python even sold for an astounding $172,500. In just a few decades, the Python attained a legendary status comparable to guns of the old world, like the Ruger and the Mauser C96, which took over a century to achieve such renown. Colt's unexpected revival of the Python in 2020 only increased the value of older Pythons. Anyone who predicted Colt's move to revive the Python likely didn't expect the company to reproduce the gun as it once was. The new Python looks similar to its predecessor, but there are many changes, reflecting the evolution of revolver manufacturing and addressing issues associated with the old Python. The signature vented rib and full underlug remain, and the dimensions are the same as the old Pythons. However, Colt made several other modifications, and the new Python is a different beast altogether. The Python 2020 and its issues. Upon closer examination, it is apparent that the Colt Python 2020 has been modified despite its similar appearance to its predecessor. One significant modification is the beefing up of the top strap, which has been increased by around 30% to enhance the revolver's strength, making it even stronger than the old Python, which was already more than capable of handling the .357 Magnum. Additionally, there is a subtle difference in the screw's position that holds the side plate in place between the old and new Python models. In the old Python, the screw was located just above the trigger on the left side, whereas in the new Python, it is positioned a little farther towards the front, indicating significant changes made to the revolver's action. But upon the release of the Colt Python in early 2020, certain YouTube personalities and social media outlets reported some issues, including light primer strikes, cylinder rotation problems, and damage to the muzzle crown of the guns. Colt has responded to these concerns with a new video, which is available to watch. As far as issues with light primer strikes, Colt acknowledged that some consumers experienced this issue with guns when using imported ammunition with heavier primers. To prevent this from happening, Colt recommends using only high-quality, SAMI-certified, brass-cased ammunition. Additionally, Colt made a minor modification to the mainspring used in the 2020 Python to improve its compatibility with a wider variety of ammunition while maintaining the trigger pull within the targeted 7 to 9 pound double-action pull weight. Colt also addressed the issue of cylinder rotation, which can occur when the side plate screws are loose, causing the hand to miss the ratchet that advances the cylinder due to the tight tolerances inside the gun. To avoid this problem, Colt recommends the use of thread-locking compound on the screws that secure the side plate in place. The company also encourages owners of Colt Python revolvers to send their gun back to Colt if they experience cylinder rotation issues, as the company will inspect and repair the hand and secure the side plate screws properly. One other thing is that Colt recognized the presence of damaged muzzle crowns in some Pythons, which the company believed it had resolved during the initial manufacturing process. Owners of guns with this issue can receive a prepaid label from Colt to have the damage addressed. CZ's acquisition of Colt. And finally, you're probably already aware, but just in case you aren't, CZ acquired Colt 2 years ago. Lubomir Kovaret, chairman and president of Česká zbrojovka Uherský Brod, revealed in an interview with TFB, a well-known online firearms news outlet, that the short-term prospects for all Colt Snake guns have improved under the CZ group. Kovaret stated that there are currently no plans to reduce the production of Colt firearms, particularly their popular revolvers, and CZ remains committed to continuing with current operations. CZ also has no intentions of making significant changes to Colt's management. This approach is favorable since Colt has been performing well in recent years, and their snake guns have been gaining popularity. Additionally, with the added resources available from CZ, Colt can operate more efficiently. And let's not forget that CZ also owns Dan Wesson, a well-known 1911 manufacturer which started out as a high-end revolver manufacturer. Who knows, maybe in the future we'll see a Dan Wesson 715 Colt Python hybrid Magnum revolver, similar in concept to the company's 1911 CZ75 hybrid, the DWX. So, if you want a Colt Python, should you buy a used pre-2005 model or the 2020 remake? Personally, I would go for the remake, if only because it is a much improved version of the original Python and CZ is now running the show. but our opinions may differ, so if you'd rather buy an older used Python or something else, maybe a Smith & Wesson 686 or a Ruger GP100, have a go at me in the comments. And that's all I have for you in this video. This is the first time we've done a video like this, so if you liked it, smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and click on the bell icon for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.